Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap and review, I'm having a beer and I'll be reviewing Hunt Me by Heather Hildenbrand. This is the third book in the Immortal Vices and Virtue series. I did receive it as an ARC, but of course I'm going to give my honest opinion. These are the tropes and these are the content warnings. I will say the content warnings were not listed in the book, so these are things I found as I was reading the book just to make you aware of what you could find or what you will find as you read the book. I may have missed some, but that's what I saw. And for the rating of this book, I am giving it 3.75. I did enjoy the book, but there were some things that I didn't quite connect to as a reader with this book. So what's this book about? Well, this book starts off with Tori, our female main character, who is a dark fae nymph hybrid, and she is very good with deadly plants. It is from these deadly plants she extracts poisons from them and uses them for her job as an assassin. She makes sure that the targets she takes on are not innocents, but she does poison them and take them on as jobs. So it's one night as she's finishing up a job at a bar. She's administered the medicine, let's call it, and the target's taken his medicine, and she's leaving. She bumps into another person. As she bumps into this person, steps back and takes a look at him, she realizes, based on what she's heard of rumors, that the person that she's bumped into is the shadow dragon, death dragon of Tartarus. Remember, there's a portal connecting Crossroads in the human realm to the Tartarus realm. And this is the general of the armies of Tartarus, and she, just looking at him, knows all the rumors about him have to be true just based on how he looks. Once she gets over her initial shock of who she's run into, she starts to realize that her senses are telling her that this is in fact her mate, and she is captivated by him, and he looks to be equally captivated and shocked by her, but instead of dealing with the situation, he leaves. But that causes a problem because by staying there, lingering, bumping into him, so much time has passed that her target has started to succumb to her poison. And so there's a mass chaos, and as she's leaving, she bumps into another person. And the person she bumps into starts to be unalived right there in front of her, simply by touching her skin, because now all these black veins have appeared on her. She realizes that the shadow dragon that she's bumped into, her mate, has in fact cursed her, and that no one can touch her skin because her skin is now as poisonous as the poisons plant she grows. It is then that she makes a vow to make him pay for making her literally poisonous to the touch. So she uses the mate bond to track him down and hunt him down so that she can make him reverse what he's done and then take care of him. But the thing is, he's equally using the mate bond to track her down. So the hunted is becoming the hunter, and he takes her captive, and the only thing he wants is her. So she's trying to figure out how to reverse the curse and to resist this mating bond and get her revenge because she has bigger plans that don't involve him. So what are my thoughts on this book? Again, I'm giving it 3.75. I really did enjoy this book. I like the author's writing style, and I really did enjoy the plot. It definitely is what kept me interested in the book, and there were a couple twists in here that I really did enjoy. However, for the main characters, Legion being the male main character who we've seen in the previous books, and Tori, the female main character, I will say for the start of the book, I didn't quite connect with them, and I didn't feel the chemistry as it came to the two of them. I think that is largely attributed to they are both extremely distrustful people for valid reasons. You have Legion, who has been used as a weapon for centuries of his life and is only recently, well, not recently, I mean, when you talk centuries, recently is relative, but for a good portion of his early life, he was used as a weapon against his will, and that left a big mark on him because the person who used him as a weapon was a family member, his mother, so that's an even deeper betrayal. Then you have Tori, whose family members have either left by choice or unwillingly. Her family died when she was 16 and she was forced to raise her younger sister when she's basically a teenager. And some of her closest friends have left as well. So she's just very hurt and distrustful of everyone around her because she sees them as leaving and also out to get her. It has literally become a joke between her and her sister when she'll say to her sister, "Don't trust them, be careful," and her sister will turn back and say right back to her, "Oh, because they're going to unalive us." So they are just two very extremely distrustful people, and when you have that much distrust between the two of them and they're fighting the attraction, at some points I was like, why are we bothering? Why are we bothering? But once they finally gave in and started to trust in one another, I started to really feel the chemistry. But that wasn't till the last 35% of the book. So for the big portion, it was just really the plot of the storyline and them trying to unpoison her skin that kept me interested. It wasn't the relationship. But once they started trusting one another and the chemistry started to really come up together for the two of them, I did start to enjoy them as a couple, but it wasn't until later in the book. Something I also enjoyed about this book was the way the author wrote the side characters, especially Tori's sister. Tori, of course, is very overprotective of her sister and has kind of restricted her sister. But as you see through the book, she starts to loosen the reins a little bit, and Tori's sister is allowed to grow now that she has the space, and I loved her growth throughout the book, that it makes me so interested in her that I hope she gets a book of her own down the line. Of course, she does have to grow up a little bit, but she's just very compelling, and I'm very interested in a story from her, hopefully someday. Now, as a reminder, this is the third book in the Immortal Vices and Virtues series. Each book is a standalone in this world, written by a different author. Now, there are 5 books total, and I am excited to find out who is going to be writing the next book and who it's going to be about. This book will be available April 15th. If you enjoyed the world so far, I strongly encourage you to give it a download. You will enjoy the book, and I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.